welcome to FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins.
And I'm student meteorologist Sarah Converse.
And it's a nice Wednesday we're having.
Yeah, definitely. It was a bit chilly for my taste, but I mean, it's a nice cool off from what we've been seeing in the past week with those 80s and 70s.
Yeah, this was a nice change with that cold front that made its way on through yesterday. But temperatures are a bit chilly. But it felt nice when I went on my run earlier today.
Yeah, definitely. And it was really nice having that high pressure system moving in, bringing clear skies. We did see some high altitude clouds and some other clouds coming in later in the day, but pretty much it was a really nice day. The blue skies, I loved it. It was a nice day to walk to my classes.
Yeah, it would have been a nice day to head outside because temperatures were feeling pretty comfortable. I know right now it's about 60 degrees outside, so yeah, when I was on my way over to the studio, I got my car and I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this for a few more days.
Yeah, definitely, especially until we get to spring break, which is in 2 more days.
Yeah, we're actually going to have a segment coming up giving you some tips on spring break travel tips, as well as your forecast for heading into spring break and the weekend. Yeah,
definitely. So stay tuned for the rest of the show. We have a lot of stuff that we're going to have to talk about today, even though we have that high pressure system moving in, which is not only doing much for our area, but for everywhere else, really. They're getting a lot of interesting weather. We have a lot of warnings and watches up for the northeast.
Yeah, they're actually seeing a nor'easter in that area, but we're going to head things out to the wall with Stanley for a look at the overview.
Thanks, guys. So currently we are sitting about 60 degrees, just a little bit under what the high we had for today. But pretty much nothing going on in our area, just a little bit of upper clouds, but it's been pretty clear all day to that high pressure system after that cold front passing through. And on to tonight's forecast. It's going to be pretty chilly. You probably will need a jacket. 38 degrees throughout pretty much the entire Big Bend. Our warm spot being Apalachicola, not very warm, 42 degrees for them. And for your weather headlines, it's going to be much cooler temperatures these next few days with clear and sunny days ahead and a big cold front coming through this weekend. But for now, I'm going to take it back to the desk with Sarah, and we are going to talk about spring break, right?
Yeah, definitely. So since spring break is coming up, we have some tips on what to do, because I know a lot of people are going to the beach. I've heard a lot of people are going to say they're going to the beach. So one of the things to do is bring sunscreen. Most important thing, sunscreen.
Make sure you are very hydrated as well. You should actually drink your body weight divided by 2 in ounces.
Yeah. So make sure, and even if it's not sunny outside, if it's maybe a bit overcast, maybe cloudy, still wear that sunscreen because the sun's rays can penetrate through the clouds and give you sunburn. It happened to me. I thought I could do it, and I got sunburned. So
the forest sun is very powerful. Make sure you have a 30 plus SPF.
Yeah, definitely. And also, if you get caught on a rip current, we want to talk about that too, because that's a pretty important thing too as well. Make sure you swim parallel to the shore. Don't swim against the rip current because you're going to use up all your energy, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah, actually at Panama City Beach last summer, I think it was in July, they formed a human chain to help a family that was stuck in the rip current.
That's really cool. Like there was I think it was 80 strangers all came together and they helped this family out. So that's really cool.
So make sure you keep an eye on all of your loved ones as well, because kids especially and maybe your grandparents as well, because they need that sun protection.
Yes.
Also, you could invest in some clothing that is also sun protective. They have plenty of products out there for that as well.
And also, if you do go on vacation, it's always good to bring cash instead of cards, because if you do lose your cards, you always have your cash in handy with you. So it's always be better safe than sorry to have the cash.
Forest beaches are beautiful. I know I'm heading this weekend over to Naples, so I'm going to enjoy the sun there, but I will be careful with my sunscreen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just going back home, and there's no beaches where I am, so you're lucky. So we don't have any beaches in little Citrus County, so yeah. But it is what it is, but make sure you stay safe. Make sure you have your sunscreen, as we said, clothing and stay hydrated. But I'm going to go over to the wall and talk about our first local in Tallahassee. Right now in our time lapse, it was really pretty out. I enjoyed going to my classes. It was really nice outside. We did see some high altitude clouds as we went on through the day, but pretty nice. We saw that nice blue sky. And as we got on through the rest of the day, we got more of that cloud cover coming through our area. And the clouds are going to stick around for later on in the night, but by tomorrow it should clear up, so it'll be a really nice day to go out to your classes when we have one more day left of spring break. But currently right now it is 60 degrees, so it's a little bit on the chillier side for me. But so make sure you have a jacket. It will be partly cloudy. It is breezy out, so ladies, make sure you have your hair up because your hair is going to be all over the place as you go on through your night. But for right now, in the Big Bend area, it's pretty much in the low 60s, higher 50s, Tallahassee at 60, Thomasville at 59, and Quincy at 57. So pretty nice temperatures all around right now, so make sure you still have your jacket as you go on through your night. And for our relative humidity, as we said, that cold front moved through. We have a high pressure system moving in, bringing a lot of that dry air, as you can see with this relative humidity, pretty much in the lower percentages at 28 in Tallahassee, 31 in Thomasville. So it's going to bring all that clear skies, drier temps, so it's chapstick season. So make sure you have your chapstick with you at all times. And as that radar, as you can see, and that time lapse as well, it was mostly just scattered clouds as we went through on the day, but pretty much it's going to clear up by tomorrow. And with these winds, as I said, it's pretty breezy. Monticello at 12 miles per hour and Tallahassee at 9. They're all coming from the north-northwest, bringing in from behind the front, which is you always see from when that cold front moves through, you'll have those winds coming from the north. And as you can see, they're pretty much going to keep on coming, pretty breezy. So make sure you ladies, you have your hair up for the rest of the day. But for tonight's forecast, though, it's going to be chilly at 38 in Tallahassee, 40 at St. Mark's, and 38 in Monticello. So pretty chilly out, so make sure you have your jacket as you go on through your day. But for tomorrow's forecast, pretty nice. We have Tallahassee at 63, St. Mark's at 64, and Monticello at 61. So pretty much all around in the 60s. So if you're from the south, this may be a little bit cooler for you, so you might still need your jacket as you go out, but pretty nice temperatures, spring-like temperatures that we've been seeing, getting that break from the warmer temperatures that we've been seeing later on in the week. But for your 7-day forecast, it's pretty nice. We have the sunny skies come out. You can even see those lows really low at 38 and 36. So if you do have your 8 a.m.s and 9 a.m.s, it's going to be chilly out, so make sure you have your jacket. But as we go on through the weekend to the spring break, we see another cold front come through. So if you're still sticking around in Tallahassee for spring break, make sure you're careful if you do leave on Sunday to stay safe as you drive on those wet conditions when we see that rain. But overall, it's going to clear up. Get partly cloudy, but the temperatures are going to be really nice at 65 for the high and for the rest of the week. And we're going to dip down just a little bit for the rest of the week, but pretty nice temperatures for overall for that 7-day forecast. But for now, I'm going to send it over to Jennifer to zoom out into the southeast.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. As we take a look at what's going on all across the southeast, the radar is showing very clear conditions across the southeast with some partly cloudy skies heading onshore for most areas of Florida. But overall, it's feeling fairly comfortable when you walk outside the door because dew points are low and humidity is low as well. As you take a look at watches and warnings heading into this evening, we actually do have a fire warning for most areas of the East Coast as well as Central Florida because these dew points are so low right now because of that cold front that made its way on through. So if you do have open flames, make sure you keep them contained. Actually, there might be some open flame don't have an open flame, basically. And also for northern Alabama, there's also a freeze warning for most areas of that for up there, including counties like Colbert, Coleman, as well as some freeze watches for central Alabama and into northern Alabama as well. But as we take a look at what's going, temperatures all across the southeast right now, it's feeling fairly comfortable when you walk outside the door this evening. About 53 degrees for Montgomery, 60 degrees here in Tallahassee, a little bit warmer as we get more along the south coast of Florida, about 63 degrees for Tampa, as well as 73 degrees for Miami. They're actually seeing some showers off along the south there from that cold front that making its way on through. But Little Rock, Arkansas is seeing temperatures fairly low, about 52 degrees for that location. Temperature, though, from this time yesterday has seen a dip in temperature because that cold front made its way on through. The coldest that we've seen is actually 13 degrees in Jackson. So temperatures are dipping because of this cold front that made its way on through. High pressure behind it, That means temperatures are going to drop with all the sinking air that's happening. Dew points are also an effect of this high pressure system. As these dew points get lower and lower, you're going to start to feel it in your skin. It's going to feel dry. You may need some chapstick. You may need some lotion, because when you walk outside, these dew points make it feel like it's very, very dry. About 27 degrees here in Tallahassee. A little bit higher dew points as we head along South Florida because of the rain that's occurring there. About 62 degrees there in Miami. And as we take a look at what's going on for tonight's forecast, we'll see temperatures feeling pretty chilly for the southeast, especially in the start of March. With that cold front that made its way on through, we'll see temperatures 32 degrees in Little Rock, as well as 36 degrees for Jackson. Here in Tallahassee, though, 38 degrees. In Tampa, Florida, we'll see temperatures at about 51 degrees, as well as 46 degrees for Orlando. So a pretty comfortable night if you're heading outside in that location, as well as 57 degrees for Miami. So for tomorrow, though, we'll see increasing cloud cover for South Florida, but it will clear out by the end of the day. With that northerly flow, though, we'll see clouds starting to build off in the later afternoon hours as well. And for tomorrow's forecast, we'll see temperatures feeling pretty similar to today, a little bit warmer, though. About 63-degree high for Tallahassee, as well as 64 degrees for Tampa, 76 degrees for Miami, as well as 64 degrees for New Orleans, 59 degrees for Jackson. But I'm actually going to take things back over to the desk right now with Sammy, with Sarah and Sammy. They're going to head it off there.
Thanks, Jennifer. So March is going to be the start of the severe weather season. I know, I mean, tornadoes do happen all throughout the season, but mostly from the March to May is pretty much the high where you get all those tornadoes, the high peak of those tornado seasons. So, yeah.
May through June is actually very prominent with tornadoes, especially in the Midwest and the Great Plains.
Yeah, definitely. So the most common places, the top 3 states that have the most tornadoes are Texas, Oklahoma, and surprisingly, Florida. Yeah.
Florida is ranked actually fourth for the most tornadoes, which is pretty surprising, especially because Floridians don't have basements.
Yeah, I forgot Kansas. Kansas was the other one.
Kansas is 2.
Correction, Kansas is 2nd. Sorry, Kansas. But tornadoes happen when cool polar air comes from the Rocky Mountains and overrides with the unstable, moist, warm air mass from the Gulf, which is bringing up those severe storms. So the mixing of the cold and the warm of that circulation of the tornado.
And actually, the most common time that these storms that produce these tornadoes happen anywhere from 4 to 9 p.m., but it could happen beforehand or after.
Yes.
Nocturnal tornadoes are actually most dangerous, right?
Yes, nocturnals are the most dangerous because, one, of course, people are sleeping, and they're really hard to spot out since it is dark outside. So, 2, if you know you're in an area where you're going to get severe weather, make sure you have the National Weather Radio. Make sure you're up to date with the weather of what's going on in your area so you're safe and protected. With
your local news as well. And make sure you are checking for those alerts of the watches and warnings when you know severe thunderstorms and weather is in your area.
Yes. And if you know that they're in your area, make sure you go to a basement or any area where there's no windows so you're safe. But for now, we're going to send it over to Jennifer again in the wall for the national.
Take a look at temperatures all across the nation. New England is actually seeing the effects of that nor'easter that's making its way on up into the northeast. About 38 degrees right now in Boston. They're actually seeing a mix of snow and rain in those areas. But the southeast is staying fairly comfortable for this time of the evening. About 60 degrees here in Tallahassee. 45 degrees for Memphis. The chilly spot on the map, though, is Minneapolis. They're seeing temperatures about 27 degrees. As well as the southeast, stay in our warm spot on the map, 65 degrees for Los Angeles, as well as 67 degrees for San Francisco, and 68 right now in Seattle. So overall, feeling pretty comfortable in the southwest, but the humidity is making it feel very, very dry in most areas of the southeast. About 28% degree humidity in Tallahassee, but take a look at New England. 93% humidity in Boston. They're seeing a heavy amount of snow in those areas, as well as rainfall, as well 56% for Washington, D.C., as well as 76% for Detroit. And as we head off towards the southwest, about 8% in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so they're seeing very, very dry conditions there. I mean, they are in the desert for that. But the northeast is seeing the effects of that nor'easter that's making its way on into the New England area. With that nor'easter, we're going to see heavy snowfall, even some rain, heavy rainfall for most areas of eastern Massachusetts for those areas. Southeast, though, staying fairly dry, as well as some cloud cover in the southwest, places like Los Angeles and San Francisco, but another low pressure system that's going to make its way onshore in areas like Washington and Oregon, so they'll see some rainfall heading onshore for those areas. But as we take a zoom in look at the Northeast, in places like New York, even into western Massachusetts, they're seeing some heavy snowfall, even some freeze watches and even some winter storm warnings for those areas. So it's going to get pretty chilly into the night, as well as some heavy snowfall for those areas. But as we take a look at the radar for this area, we'll see the heaviest snowfall for places like western Massachusetts, even into New York and areas of New Jersey. Vermont and New Hampshire, though, we'll see the heaviest of rainfall heading into tomorrow and into Friday as well. But take a look at Cape and Islands. They're actually seeing some heavy rainfall because temperatures aren't getting below freezing in those areas. So we'll even see some mix of rain and snow, even some ice from areas like Boston. But as we take a look at zoomed in into New York, they'll see the heaviest of snowfall. They're actually going to see a foot of snow for most areas of New York City. Some people are even hearing thunder snow as an effect of this nor'eastern. Futurecast is going to bring this low pressure system off into the Atlantic. The low pressure center will actually be to the east of Massachusetts by Thursday early afternoon. And by the late afternoon, that low pressure system will start to push off into Canada. And some areas like Maine and New Hampshire and Vermont will see the heaviest of snowfall heading into Thursday afternoon. Tonight's forecast, though, for the nation, Minneapolis will actually be our coldest spot. About 10 degrees there. Would not want to be there at this time for tonight. 22 degrees for Chicago, as well as 30 degrees for Washington, D.C. 36 degrees here in Tallahassee. Los Angeles will be about 55 degrees, as well as 50 degrees for San Francisco. 50 degrees for tomorrow forecast for Seattle, as well as 45 degrees for Kansas City. 63 degrees here in Tallahassee. 40 degrees there in Boston and Washington, D.C., as well as 70 degrees for Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Los Angeles. That'll be our warmest spots heading into tomorrow. But I'm actually going to bring things back over to the desk with me and Sammy. We're going to talk about some thunder snow, like I was mentioning, happening in New York right now.
So we were just talking about thunderstorms, and now we are going to transition into thunder snow. So it's actually very common, or not very common actually.
Not very common.
Less than 170 snowstorms produce thunder snow.
Yeah, actually less than 1% of snowstorms produce thunder snow. So it's actually a very, very rare event. It's a rare phenomenon because it occurs when snowstorms actually develop an intense upward lift in the air, causing enough circulation and electric charge to produce lightning and even the thunder produced by that lightning. So it's actually scaring a lot of people up in those areas right now.
Even about a foot of snow is expected to blanket over, was it New York?
New York City.
Yeah.
So New York City will actually see a foot of snow as a result of this nor'easter that's making its way up. So because of that thunder and lightning that's happening there, they'll actually get some effects of heavy accumulation for these areas. But yeah, so it leads to a heavy snowfall of accumulation. And people on Twitter are actually posting, saying how much it scared them hearing the thunder snow earlier on this afternoon. Actually, someone on Twitter said, I was currently under a table, wrapped up in my blankets. They're like, this is a very scary situation for us.
I mean, it's crazy. Imagine it's snowing and you hear thunder. Like, it would shock you.
Have you ever been in a snowstorm and heard thunder?
Okay, so I am from the Midwest, but I have never heard thunder during a snowstorm.
I mean, I'm a Florida girl. I hear thunderstorms in the afternoon in the summertime, but imagine hearing it with snow. Like, I could not think of that.
Well, I mean, you hear the loud snow plows, so you don't really know what the loud noise could be, actually. So
actually, we're gonna bring things back over to Florida with Sarah to look at what's going on across Florida.
Really, we're still seeing the end of that cold front leaving the South Florida and Miami. So we pretty much are just seeing that cloud cover for Central Florida. But for now, I'm going to go in piece by piece into Florida. So we're going to start with the Panhandle and work our way down. So for Tallahassee right now, it's pretty much a little bit of that cloud cover is going to stick around till tonight. But by tomorrow, it should clear up. So it'll be a really nice day tomorrow. And for Central Florida right now, they're seeing much of that cloud, more cloud cover than we've really been seeing for right now. Citrus County and all up through Orlando are seeing a lot of that cloud cover, but eventually it's going to clear up for them as well, like here in Tallahassee. So pretty much tomorrow is going to be a really nice day. And for down in south in Miami, they're seeing some of that scattered shower of the remnants of that cold front leaving their area, and soon as well it will clear up for them as well for Thursday as well. So pretty nice day for Thursday. And as we get into our temperatures, pretty much, as you can see, the north is always cooler than the south. Tallahassee at 60, Tampa by my hometown is at 63, and then Miami you're getting a little bit warmer at 73. So pretty nice temperatures all around of the spring-like temperatures, so really nice. And as for that temperature change, as that cold front moved through, you can see all this temperature of it cooling down by 5 degrees in Tallahassee, 8 in Tampa, Orlando at 10. For Miami and unfortunately for West Palm Beach, they're not really seeing much of a cool down for them. But I mean, I'm pretty sure they're pretty liking these 70 temperatures down there. As for that dew point, we're pretty much dry as that cold front moves through. The high pressure system's moving in, bringing a lot of that dry air. So make sure you have your chapstick. Unfortunately for South Florida, they're seeing a lot of that mugginess still, mostly just because of those scattered showers that they're seeing until tomorrow. And for the relative humidity, as I said, pretty much dry throughout Florida. It's going to be sticking around for a couple more days, but for tonight's forecast, pretty much cool. 41 in Pensacola, 51 in Tampa, and 57 in Miami. So a little bit cooler down there for them. But for tomorrow, it's going to be a really nice day. Tallahassee at 63, Fort Myers at 71, and Miami at 76. So they're seeing a little bit of a cool down, but pretty nice temperatures all around in Florida. But for now, I'm going to go over to the desk with Jennifer.
Yeah, we're actually going to talk about a shipwreck that happened, that actually has resurfaced because of a nor'eastern storm that happened recently. A 250-year-old shipwreck actually was unearthed because of strong storm surge and massive winds from New England's recent winter storm. It actually uncovered the remains of the ship beneath the sand of a Maine beach.
Wow, that's really interesting. It's believed to be dated back to the Revolutionary War, so that's a long time ago.
That's a long time, about 250 years. So, yeah, so the shipwreck actually appeared again in 2013 and caught the eye of a lot of people at that time. When another winter storm hit. So they actually say that the shipwreck tends to make its appearance whenever a nor'eastern makes its way up into the New England area. So it's a pretty interesting thing that's going on.
Definitely. I feel like for history buffs, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, like geeking out over this.
I found that a little bit interesting. I was
like, I mean, it is interesting.
I'd love to go check it out. You know?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. History's always a cool thing. I love history. It's really cool. It's like my second love to weather. The ship is a 60-foot ship and was most likely built during the 18th century and wrecked around 1769.
Yeah, that's actually that's an interesting fact right there, because it's about 250 years this thing has survived. It only shows the shell of the shipwreck, so basically the bottom steel form. So I mean, it's interesting to see what they were using during the time to make these ships, and it will actually take another few weeks for the shipwreck to actually be reburied into the Maine sand, into the Maine beach sand. I sound like I'm saying Maine Beach, into the beaches of Maine. So we'll probably see it for another nor'easter that's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. But that's really cool. But for now, we're going to go over to the wall with Sammy with our last local.
Thank you, guys. So what we are actually looking at right now is a live shot. Actually, you could see the stadium, the top of the stadium right here in the sun peeking out just over top of the stadium. So it is quite a beautiful image that we are looking at here in Tallahassee. But for our temperatures, we are sitting right below the high, which was 63 degrees. That low this morning was around 45 degrees. So a little chilly, but you are going to see temperatures drop into 40s, even 30s for the next few days as well. So right now we are sitting at 63 degrees actually now. It is partly cloudy, just a little bit of upper level clouds, but pretty much throughout the whole area, you can see temperatures are pretty consistent around high 50s, low 60s, making it feel pretty pleasant outside, but later in the night you will need a jacket as those temperatures drop. you can see the wind speed is kind of picking up, 14 miles per hour over in Tallahassee. Monticello is sitting at 17 miles per hour. So you are feeling that effect of that wind coming from the northwest right now. But for our dew point, it is actually feeling very dry outside, and as a result of that, we actually have some fire weather. But here in Tallahassee, we are at 27 degrees for that dew point. A little bit into Georgia, you are seeing 28 over in Thomasville, 36 over in Bainbridge. So those are actually just a little bit higher. But actually, our dew point change has gone down drastically. 37-degree difference for Tallahassee. So that is huge since that cold front passed through, making it feel very dry outside. And for our futurecast and radar, pretty much nothing on the radar for tomorrow. It's going to be very pleasant outside and plenty of sun for tomorrow. But for tonight's forecast, pretty chilly temperatures, 38 degrees in Tallahassee, pretty much throughout the whole Big Bend region, just a little bit warmer in Apalachicola near the coast, but everyone is pretty much going to need that jacket if you are planning anything for tonight. And for tomorrow's forecast, pretty much 60s throughout the entire Big Bend region. And for the 7-day, we are seeing plenty of sun. Thursday, Friday, 63, 67. Warming up on Friday, but those lows are in the 30s, and we are going to have chance of rain for your Sunday, but that's when that next cold front is going to come through and making temperatures go back down into the 60s once again.
Yeah, and as we close out the desk this evening, we're going to take a look at the 7-day forecast. Like you were talking about, sunny skies for the next 2 days, but heading into spring break, that's when the rain chances start to pick up a little bit.
Yeah, we can see these temperatures are actually right above average, so, or actually right around average. But other than that 78 where the rain will come in.
Yeah, the 78 where the rain's coming in, it's going to be about 60% chance of rain. So I'm glad I'm not staying in town. I'm actually heading up to Washington, D.C., so I'll enjoy the chillier temperatures. Yeah. But I won't really have the picture-perfect spring break on the beach. But
maybe get some snow, too.
Will you enjoy that?
Yeah, I'm hoping to go to the beach, but for now, follow us on Twitter with your updates.
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter and also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FSU Weather. We post our social media updates on there.
And also YouTube. Hopefully you're watching us there live right now.
Yeah, you can watch us anytime live on YouTube, and also follow us on Instagram @FSU Weather. Send us your pictures. We love looking at your pictures of weather, anything.
Yep. And we also post updates of actually the current weather and maybe some severe weather coming.
Yeah, our social media experts do that.
But for now, I'm student meteorologist Sammy Squires.
And I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins. Have a good evening. We'll see you here tomorrow.